Welcome to Cowboys Versus Ninjas. Every day, a brand new, addictive story, all in a fun, epic way, with masterful storytelling that will keep you coming back for more. I'm Adrian, and I'm here with Julia to unpack one heck of a tale today.
That's right. Samurai and gunslinger adventures are what we do here, and we can't wait to share this one with you.
Before we get started, don't forget to rate and follow for more thrilling Cowboys Versus Ninjas episodes. All right, let's jump right in. This story is about Hiro, a teenage samurai whose life takes a very dark turn. Think vengeance, think loss, and think about whether those things can ever lead to something more.
What strikes me right away is how the story starts in this idyllic village, full of life and laughter, and then bam, it's all ripped away. It makes you wonder, how do we as humans cope when everything familiar is destroyed?
It's like the writers wanted to punch us in the gut right from the start. Hiro loses his family, his home, his whole world. He even loses his father's mystical bow, which was like more than just a weapon, right? It was a symbol of his heritage, his connection to his ancestors.
It's almost like losing that bow is symbolic of losing his identity, his place in the world. And that feeling of displacement is something I think a lot of people can relate to, even if it's not on such a dramatic scale, of course.
Right. It's like when you move to a new city and you suddenly feel adrift. Only multiply that by 1,000 for poor Hiro. But then there's this moment where he finds a discarded Akagi arrow, the clan that destroyed everything, and it's like, boom, a switch flips inside him.
The arrow becomes a symbol of his rage, his desire for revenge. It's interesting because it marks a shift away from those honorable samurai traditions we often see in stories. Hiro's not thinking about duty or honor. He's all about survival, about making the people who hurt him pay.
And that's where Aiko comes in, right? The village outcast labeled a witch. What's her deal? Why does she help Hiro? And why is her hair used to restring the bow? It's like loaded with symbolism.
We see these kinds of characters, the outcasts, the misunderstood, pop up a lot in stories about revenge. I think it's because they represent a kind of freedom from societal expectations. They've already been rejected, so they have nothing to lose by helping someone like Hiro, someone on the fringes of society.
Okay, I'm seeing where you're going with this. Aiko represents this wild, untamed energy. And Hiro, fueled by vengeance, is drawn to that. He needs her help to become the weapon he needs to be.
Exactly. It's like their shared pain creates this bond, and together they embark on this journey of destruction. But, and this is the key question, is destruction ever truly the answer?
Well, stay tuned, because as Hiro starts taking down the Akagi clan one by one, something interesting happens. He doesn't seem to be finding any peace in it. Each victory seems to leave him feeling emptier.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Hiro's quest for revenge is transforming him, but not necessarily in the way he expected. We'll see how this plays out as he prepares for his final showdown with Koji, the leader of the Akagi clan. It's not just a physical battle, it's a clash of ideologies. The final battle is set against this backdrop of like a ruined Akagi camp, smoke, death. And there's Hiro facing off against Koji, the embodiment of everything he hates.
Yeah, it's such a classic setup, right? Two warriors locked in a fight that's about way more than just themselves. It's about their clans, their histories, the whole cycle of violence that's led them to this point.
And you can feel that tension building. Koji, this battle-hardened leader, he laughs at Hiro, thinks he's just a kid playing at revenge. But Hiro, he's not that naive boy anymore. He's been shaped by loss, by Aiko's guidance, and by the brutality he's already unleashed.
And then, bam, one arrow right between the eyes. Koji's down, and it's like the air changes.
We've seen a lot of samurai films in putting this together for you. And this scene reminds me of how directors often use silence after a big death. It's like the world's holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next.
What I find fascinating is that Koji's men, they don't immediately rush to avenge him, they hesitate. It's like they're seeing Hiro, maybe for the first time, as a force to be reckoned with. Not just a vengeful kid, but something almost supernatural.
Right, it makes you think about how fear works. Koji ruled through fear. But the moment he's gone, that fear shifts. Now it's on his men. And the forest, even the natural world, seems to be reacting to Koji's death.
That's where those mystical elements you mentioned earlier really come into play. It's like the spirits of those the Akagi clan wronged are lending their power to Hiro, adding this whole other layer to the conflict. This isn't just about two people or two clans anymore. It's about a cosmic kind of justice. But here's the thing. Even with all that power behind him, the battle takes a toll. It's brutal, bloody. And it's actually the setting sun, not Hiro, that delivers the final blow to the Akagi clan. Such powerful symbolism, right? the sun, setting on their era of cruelty.
It's a reminder that sometimes justice comes from unexpected places. It's not always about our own actions, but about larger forces at play. As the dust settles, Hiro's totally spent physically and emotionally. He's achieved his goal. But what now?
Yeah, that's the question that hangs over the whole scene. His family's still gone, his village is in ruins. Can vengeance really fill that void?
That's where Aiko steps in, and she doesn't offer words or grand pronouncements. She gives Hiro a pouch of seeds. Simple, but so profound. It's acknowledging the destruction, but also the possibility of something new growing from it.
It's like she's saying, okay, you've torn everything down, now what are you going to build?
And that's where we see Hiro shift again. He puts down his bow, the tool of vengeance, and starts planting. It's like he's finally acknowledging that destruction isn't the end of the story. There's the potential for healing, for growth. But it takes a different kind of energy, a different focus.
It's making me think about all those stories where the hero just wants to destroy the bad guy. But they never really stop to think about what comes after. What does it actually look like to rebuild a life, a community, after so much loss?
And that's exactly the challenge Hiro's facing now. He's got this bow, a reminder of his past. But he's also got these seeds, a symbol of the future he could create. So the question is, can he truly escape the shadow of what he's done? Can he embrace this new path, or will he always be haunted by the ghost of the vengeful samurai he became?
As we see Hiro and Aiko scattering those seeds across that land, it's clear this is a different kind of journey now. It's not about anger or revenge anymore. It's about healing. Healing the land. And maybe healing themselves in the process.
Yeah, the shift is really powerful. Hiro goes from this destructive force to someone engaged in this quiet, patient act of nurturing. It's like he's learning a whole new language, one that's about creation instead of destruction.
And there's this beautiful contrast between the violence of his past and the gentleness of what he's doing now. It makes you think about the duality of human nature, how we all have the capacity for both good and bad creation and destruction.
What I find interesting is the way Aiko supports Hiro in this transformation. She's not preaching at him. She's not forcing him to change. She just offers this steady presence, this quiet belief in his ability to become something more.
It's like she embodies hope.
Yeah.
She's been through so much loss herself. But she chooses to believe in the possibility of a brighter future. And that seems to be what Hiro needs. Someone who believes in him, even when he maybe doesn't believe in himself.
Right. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful form of healing comes from just being there for someone, walking alongside them as they figure things out. And their shared pain, their shared hope, it creates this bond between them that goes beyond words.
And then there's that moment where Hiro picks up his bow again. Not as a weapon, but as a reminder of everything he's been through. It's like he's accepting his past, the darkness and the light, and integrating it into who he's becoming.
It makes me think about those old samurai films you mentioned. There's often a scene where the samurai has to choose between clinging to the past or embracing a new way. And that's what we're seeing with Hiro. He's choosing to move forward, but he's not forgetting where he came from.
It's a powerful message for anyone who's been through something difficult. It's okay to acknowledge the pain, the anger, but it doesn't have to define you. You can choose to create something new, something better out of the ashes of what was lost.
And that's really what Hiro's story is about, isn't it? It's about the resilience of the human spirit, the ability to find hope even in the darkest of times. It's about choosing to create a future worth fighting for, even when it feels like everything has been taken away.
And on that note, my friends, we come to the end of another epic tale here on Cowboys Versus Ninjas. Don't forget to rate and follow for more captivating stories of samurai and gunslingers. Until next time, keep those imaginations firing.